What's up, guys? Welcome to Let's Do Life Together, a podcast by Kay and Tay.
I'm very excited to be doing this, you guys. I just want you to know we've been talking about starting a podcast for a long time. So,
Yeah, it's exciting to just to be able to connect with you guys on a deeper level, and have meaningful conversations, fun conversations, and just we'll see what happens. This is our first episode. We don't know how we're gonna do this, but we're
yes,
we're just doing it, and it's gonna be fun to, talk to you guys.
absolutely. I feel like us starting on social media was such an unexpected thing. And
For sure.
ironically, what got us into doing social media was a podcast. So for us to come full circle and actually
Yeah.
be having a platform where we feel comfortable to start our own podcast is truly incredible. So I'm excited to get into these conversations with you guys and talk about anything and everything. So let's
Yeah.
get into it. I'm excited. And thank you for being here right off the bat. Just thank you. So much
Yeah.
gratitude for you guys.
I don't know where should we start because we have so many new people,
We do.
but then we have such a loyal audience that has been following us for so long, and I
Our
feel like
OGs.
you guys know a lot about us, but then there's a lot of new people that don't really know. But I guess we could start like how we met.
Absolutely.
Do you want to start or do you want me to go?
I want to hear it from your point of view.
Okay,
So
so
you go.
we met in okay, first impression. Okay, so we met in high school, but my first impression, I saw her walking around. She doesn't remember this because she didn't see me, but I saw her walking into the school, and it was a very small school, so I obviously remember it because there wasn't a lot of people there. So then I saw her, and that was like my first impression. I was like, oh, like there's another black person in the school. And then later, that's what it was.
No,
And
me
then
too.
exactly, and then later that day, what happened? Oh, I was in English class, and then she walked in, and I was like, oh, like she goes here. So then, yeah, that was my first impression. I thought she was, uh, I don't know, like you look nice because you don't
Thank
have
you.
like a, you know,
Yeah,
like you don't look mean.
mean.
You have a very approachable face.
I get that a lot,
Yeah.
actually. So I'm
Like,
flattered.
you don't have a resting bitch face.
Thank you.
I feel like I do.
I feel like you do a little bit.
Yeah.
I won't lie to you.
Yeah.
But it's because when you're relaxed, you just look serious. I think when I'm
Okay.
like relaxed, I still look approachable for some reason.
Okay.
Like my relaxed face is like, you know.
Yeah.
I'm grateful that I didn't look mean though.
Yeah.
I'm happy that you said like, yeah, she looked nice.
Yeah. How about you?
My first impression of Khalil was literally the fact that he was wearing an all red outfit. I will never
Yes.
forget that part. He stood out not only because he was also the only other black person in the room, but he was wearing one of those, what do you call them? The Nike tracksuits.
Nike Tech.
Yeah, the Nike Tech tracksuits.
Yeah.
And he even had on red tennis shoes.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself,
And a red beanie, didn't
what?
he?
Yeah, and a red beanie. And I thought, wow, this guy really loves red.
I like to match. I
So-
always match.
That is true. Khalil is very fashion forward, even more forward than me. So if you think I look good, 90% chance Khalil picked out my outfit. But that was my first impression of him, was that he obviously liked the color red and that he had a good sense of fashion. He also looked nice too, though. He looked shy, actually.
Yeah.
You did.
Because I was never the one to like be outgoing and talk to a whole bunch of people. So
Yeah.
I was very quiet. But I think we connected in that way because you were also quiet.
Yes, I was. I had to have a friend go to you to get your phone number because
Oh my
that's
God.
how quiet I was, guys.
This is funny. So like
Okay.
literally, I was sitting in class. Was this before you asked about my beanie or after?
This was before. No, it was after.
After? Okay, so that was the
was
beanie
after.
situation was the first time she ever like we ever talked to each other. Well, you could say that better because
I was so
the one that
cringy.
approached me.
He was sitting. There was a big, like not concrete, but I'll go with concrete or stone sign in front of the school, and everybody would sit on it while they were waiting to get picked up or waiting for school to officially end, whatever. And he was sitting on it. Thank you, thank you. And I thought, okay, I'm going to try to like be outgoing and walk up and talk to him, which was funny because at the school I was previously at before I went to this school where I met Khalil, I was extremely outgoing. So for me to have been shy was very odd for me.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, I'm just going to walk up to him and like I'll give him a compliment because I always find if you start a conversation with a compliment, usually the person receiving the compliment kind of feels more comfortable to talk to you. So I was like, oh, I'll compliment his beanie because his beanie was cute because it had one of the little bebops on the top, and I loved a little beanie with a bebop. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna tell him like, I really like your beanie. So I walked up to him and I was like, hey, like, I really like your beanie. And he said, oh, thanks. After he like looked up from his phone, and I know he was thinking, why are you talking to me?
Yeah.
And I said, I think I asked him if he like would give it to me. Didn't I ask if he would give it to me? Or did I?
Remember.
I asked him something about
you
it.
didn't. You didn't.
No, but I said, are you going to wear one tomorrow?
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah. And I said, oh, okay, cool. Because, like, I really like this one. And just whatever the conversation was about beanies. But that's literally how I talked to him. And ironically enough, I still have that exact same beanie to this day.
Yeah.
Because he gave it to me, like, way years later. But he's like, oh, the bebop fell off. And I said, I'm going to sew it and fix it. Don't get rid of it. That beanie started all of this. So you have to keep it. So that's how our first small conversation went. And then I sent my friends to get his phone number.
Yeah, but that was like a few days after. And that
Oh,
was
yeah.
so funny. So, okay, so she had two friends, right? And I was sitting in class, I don't even know what class it was, but anyways, that doesn't matter. I was sitting there, and then this girl comes up to me, and I have never talked to this girl ever in my life. And then she came up to me, she was like, hey, can I have your number? And I'm like, sure, like, whatever. So then I gave her my number, and then later that day, she was texting me. Well, I thought it was her that was texting me, and I'm like, whatever, whatever. And then it turns out that it was her other friend that was texting me. So I'm like, so one of her friends asked for the number. The other friend was the one that was texting me, and that friend was texting me for her, and I was like, bro, what is happening? And yeah, I don't really know what happened after that. Like, I don't know
being
if
outed. It's the way you didn't know who was who, so you would call them by the wrong names because you thought you were texting one, but it was the other.
Exactly.
But you were so nice because you, like, no one was flirting or, like, having that kind of conversation. It was genuinely
was
just
like
like,
regular
hey, can I get your
conversation.
number so, like, we can connect? And Khalil was never going to say no to anybody. So he's like, yeah, sure. And I remember when my friend was texting him because we were together. So she's like, oh, this is what he said. And, oh, he actually seems friendly. And I would be reading the messages. And she's like, are you sure you don't want to text him? And I was like, no. Like, you feel it out. See if he's a nice guy. And then, I'll text him. So eventually I ended up texting him myself. And I asked, like, hey, is it okay if I got, your number from my friend? And he was like, what? Which friend was who? Like, he was so confused. And then that's when we started texting and, slowly became friends after that point.
It was cool because, like, I was still am a very quiet person, and she was also very quiet. And, like, anytime we hung out, it was nice because we didn't have to do much. We could just, like, sit down and watch a movie or just, like, be there and sit in silence. Like, she would drop me off, or she would pick me up from school. Not from school. She would pick me up from my house and drop me off. Jesus. We would go to school together because she had a car. I didn't have a car. Yeah. So she would just drive to my house. She lives 10 minutes away from me. So she would drive to my house, and then we would go to school together. And then sometimes she would drop me off as well. But yeah, it was cool because, like, I was so quiet. She was also quiet. Like, sometimes I would just ask her to come to my house, and she would just sit here while I play basketball with my friends, and we would just hang out, and it was cool.
We had a very low-key friendship. We were never doing the most. One thing that we did like doing was going to the movies because it was something we've always both been into, and even to this day, that's like a key part of our relationship. We love going to the movies together.
And I always fell asleep.
He always fell asleep, you guys. One small story time. We literally went to see Wolverine.
Yeah.
And he had already seen it, and he told me, like, oh, it's a very emotional movie. This one's very deep. You're going to love it. Oh, there you go. I'm sorry. It was Logan.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, it's, like, really good, really deep. You're going to love it. Because I love movies that are, like, tearjerkers. Like, I want snot and boogers, everything. I love it. So we're watching it, And it gets to, if you've seen the movie, you'll know what I'm talking about. It gets to this very deep emotional part toward the end of the film. And I'm losing it, okay? Like, tears are just streaming.
Yeah.
The boogers are coming. Like, I'm falling apart, okay? And I literally was like, oh my God, Khalil, you were right. Like, this is so sad. I can't even control my emotions. And he literally was slightly snoring. And luckily, the lady next to me on the other side was there by herself, so she heard me say it. And because I said out loud after, of course you would fall asleep during the saddest part of the movie. And she was like, no, it's okay, I'm crying too. So I bonded with this older lady who was sitting next to me because we were just crying together. But Khalil does fall asleep watching movies, okay?
Yeah.
So it wasn't always me. For those of you who know, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
So
It's just, I don't know. Like, she has such a comfortable presence, you know? So I always fell asleep all the time.
I feel like that's kind of one of the ups and downs of our relationship because
Yeah.
Khalil is a night owl. Taylor is not a night owl, you guys. Okay, I am a morning girly. Okay, I want to get up like, ooh, the sun is getting up. So am I, and I want to go to bed when the sun is going down.
Yep.
But-
She'll be asleep by 8:30 if you let her.
Leave me alone.
We can never watch anything.
No, we can't, and I won't even lie about it. But we compromise. So we watch TV shows, so I can try to make it through an episode instead of a movie in the middle of the night.
Yeah, because, I mean, sometimes I'll go to bed at like 4 or 5 a.m. Like, I'm literally like, all of my creative juices, they flow at night. So it's the worst time because I can never fall asleep.
No, my creative juices are flowing at about 10 a.m.
Yep.
and they stop flowing at about 5.
Yeah.
So that's something that kind of helped our dynamic of like learning how to compromise for each other or really find balance, like, and kind of culturally too, that played a role because my family is like me, very early. They're up at 6 a.m. We have dinner at like 4 or 5 o'clock, and his family is the polar opposite. They have dinner at 10 o'clock, and that was very difficult for me to get used to at first. But now that I spent a few months in Brazil, I'm much more used to it because I've realized it really is the culture. His family's not special.
Yeah, it's the Brazilian culture.
It's
man.
everybody, you guys. So, but yeah, that's something that,
Yeah.
we try to find balance with.
Yeah. We have dinner really late.
You guys have dinner so late.
Yeah.
We literally went to a restaurant in Brazil and we got there at 8:30 and the guy was like, oh, you're going to have to wait, about 20, 30 minutes. And I thought, 20, 30 minutes? How is there this many people here at 8:30?
Yeah.
I don't know. It was just surprising to me. Maybe it's normal in other places in the
was
U.S.
packed.
It full. All the tables were full and people were out with their little kids too. And I thought, shouldn't you be asleep already? Because like it feels late. No, Brazil said late who? We don't even know that word. And party's always starting when we decide.
Literally. It was nice
But
though.
it was very nice. I like that.
So as part of our little podcast thingy that we're doing, we want to have little segments. And yeah, we're going to do one right now.
I'm very excited. Ta-da! Drum roll.
Mystery box.
I came up with this idea because I thought it would be really fun for you guys to feel like you're a part of every episode that we do. You're not just hearing us talk, you're also hearing us talk about things that you really want us to talk about. So we put a few questions that you guys asked us on our Instagram story, and make sure you're always tuning in because we will put a question box again for you to ask more. And also, just a side note, don't we love our mystery box? I'm so surprised that I got him to get this one. But you guys know I'm obsessed with Ray Dunn. So I had to have this one. And I'm very excited about it.
Yep.
It goes so perfectly with the season.
I really like it. And I already know we're going to have a different freaking box for every season.
Absolutely. Absolutely, we will. At least he's ready for it, though.
Exactly.
Okay.
We're going to pick at random and we're going to answer 3 of these questions.
I'm excited. Let's get into it.
Yep.
You go first.
First one. Let's see. Do you guys ever get bored of each other? Never.
That's a deep question. And I can honestly say, no. I don't get bored of Khalil, ever. He's very entertaining, actually.
A little bit.
Khalil's very funny. He likes to make references to movies, which I love. He's always making jokes. He can literally pull up a meme from the TV show The Office to reference any kind of conversation that we're having.
I love The Office.
And it's so fast. Not even 10 seconds. And he's like, bam. And it's always funny. So he's always keeping me on my toes, for sure.
For sure.
You don't get bored of me?
I never get bored of her.
You can tell the truth, Khalil.
She is so entertaining. Like the most entertaining person ever. Like, look at this little face. Look at this little face. It's great. I don't ever get bored. We're very much alike. We're very different, but we're very much alike.
I agree.
I don't even know how that works. But yeah, I never get bored of her. We have a lot of the same interests.
We do.
And if she's not interested in something that I'm doing, she'll try to, get into it, and then she'll be open to it. So yeah, she's very open-minded. So yeah, we're never bored.
I think one thing that really works for us also is we are the kind of people who don't mind being alone while being together.
Yes.
So if we're in, like we're on vacation, we're in a hotel, we're, whatever, he can be editing on his computer and I will be reading on my Kindle. And to me, that's still us having time together, but having time together alone. We function really well doing that too, so.
Yeah, we do.
Okay, my turn.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. Who asked out who? It's a great question.
Who asked out who, like how?
Yeah, who asked out who? Like for our first date, I'm assuming they mean.
Oh, okay.
But
Who did?
Khalil did.
I did?
You don't remember? You don't remember?
Oh, to Pedrocas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You took me to Pedrocas.
Yeah, that was.
It was so cute.
Yeah.
Because I didn't realize it was a date because we had already hung out like once before. That was like a fun activity that was just the two of us. And in my mind, I kind of thought that was a date. And then I kind of brought it up gently. And Khalil was like, no, you'll know when it's like a date. And I was like, okay, sure. And then a few weeks later, he asked me, he's like, hey, are you free, tomorrow night at 7? And I thought, mysterious. Yeah, why? And so he's like, okay, I wanted to know if, like, you want to go on a date with me. And he actually asked that way. So that was when I knew, like, oh, this is an official date. And I got cute. I put my little cute outfit on. And it was really romantic because we were the only people at the restaurant, which was a little intimidating. I don't even know if he planned that, but we were literally the only people at the restaurant. And we got a cute little table and, like, a little small spot where no one would, bother us or talk to us. It was very nice.
Yeah, Pedrocas is amazing. My friend owns it, and it's a great restaurant.
Mm-hmm. So make sure you check it out. He's moved locations now, so he's closer to home for us, which is great. But every time we go there, I think about our first date. So I love going there.
Third and final question, guys. Let's make this a good one.
Okay.
Has having a relationship, being in the public eye, given you any challenges? I don't think so. Honestly, because we don't really care about what, people think. I don't really give in to any comments or anything like that. So I don't think it affected our relationship, like, at all,
That's tough because I would say, for me, yes and no. Khalil is really good at letting things come and go. So if he'll read something and he's like, oh, that was a little bit rude of that person or that was mean, whatever, he does really well with stating how he felt about it and literally moving on with his day. I sometimes struggle a little bit depending on what kind of comment or what kind of thing, that person said.
Okay.
So that can sometimes be a bit challenging because I will struggle with letting other people's opinions become part of our relationship. So if someone's like, oh, he's a professional athlete and why do you look like that? I'm like, oh, shoot. True. I see what you're saying, but I have to remind myself that I'm the one who knows my truth. Nobody else does, and be better at kind of letting that go. But I haven't really said this like out loud before, I don't think. But one reason I'm saying no, it hasn't provided like a lot of challenges is because I actually think it's really something unique to be able to go out, the two of us now, and have somebody who follows us come up to us and have a conversation about how our representation, like, of our relationship and, being a Black couple, being a multicultural couple, all these things has really changed their lives or changed their perspective and given them confidence to find love and, be themselves, that to me makes all the challenges just completely irrelevant. I don't even care. Like, I will take all the hate in the world if it means someone at home is like, yeah, like, I can date someone who maybe is smaller than me, or the other way around. I can, date someone who, the world may think, wow, why are they together? So that is what matters the most. So any challenges? Where? Don't know them, because
Where?
you
Don't
guys
know.
make it worth it. Absolutely.
Yeah,
So I like that. That was a good question. I like answering questions.
I like it too.
I like talking, in case you didn't notice.
That is
I
so
can't help
cool.
myself.
You have a good voice.
Thank
a
you.
Very nice voice.
I get a little worried sometimes
Don't
because
be.
I hear it back and I'm like,
I'm gonna play this podcast over and over and just skip over my parts.
me too, me too. Okay, so we do have some questions left in there, but we will get to those next time.
Next time.
Yes.
There's a lot of segments that we want to do.
Yes.
That we have planned. So yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Very
very
fun.
very fun. But yeah, this I guess we could end it here.
I feel like this was
A
good.
good first episode.
This was a good intro, a good warm up.
We don't want you guys to get annoyed with our voices.
Or bored, or bored of
bored.
us, which I don't think you will. I hope. No pressure though. Like,
No pressure though.
some people you like watching, some people you don't. But it is what it is. We hope you like us, but if you don't like us, that's cool. That's cool. Our people are our people. Okay, shoot.
Yeah, I think
So.
this was a good introduction episode.
Very good.
Just to get you guys used to it. Get us used to it too.
For sure.
And we'll see where this goes.
Absolutely.
Make sure that you follow us in our other accounts, our other social media, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, wherever else we are, Patreon. And yeah, just stay tuned. We're gonna be posting a lot more often. Well, we post very often,
We
but
do.
yeah, just
In reference to the podcast, though, we're hoping to be able to, have this time with you guys more often. So we're going to try to make sure that actually there's no such thing as trying, there's doing or not doing.
Yeah.
We are going to do this podcast as often as we can. We do each obviously have lives and schedules, and we do get a little bit busy. So bear with us if we miss a week or a month or whatever happens, but we're very excited. And as long as you guys, constantly let us know that you're into it, you're feeling it, we're all vibing together, then we're going to keep putting this out there for you.
yeah. With training and everything, it's very hard for
Yes.
us to stay consistent
sure.
with social media because if you guys didn't know, I am a professional boxer and I do also work on social media full time. And Tay has very a very busy schedule with school and everything. So yeah, we're gonna try to stay as consistent as possible. We really like doing this.
Yeah, we
This
love
was
it.
very fun to record.
Yes, it
And
was.
It's pretty easy too because we get to just sit down and talk to each other. We
Yeah.
already do that anyways. We just putting a camera in front of it. So
Literally.
yeah,
It's perfect. I feel like this is actually going to be like the most vibey content that we can give you guys, because this is where we thrive. We
we
have
can-
our whole
oh,
thing going.
sorry.
No, go ahead, babe. No,
we could
talk.
also do it anywhere. Like it's not always gonna look like this. This is my house, like a little set that I built.
It's great.
So we could do this anywhere, So one day you might see the podcast here. You might see the podcast in Catalina. I don't know.
Oh.
We might see the podcast somewhere else,
Absolutely.
outside somewhere in the park. I don't know. But yeah,
At the end of the day, we are the podcast,
Yeah.
The setup isn't all of it, although we love it. Because
Yeah.
look how cute we look, guys.
we worked really hard on the setup.
Yeah, we did. And we threw it together so fast, too. It was
Yeah.
literally like, okay, we're going to do this. We're going to commit to doing a podcast. What do we need? Okay, we need chairs. Let's get some cute chairs. Oh, we need we want a cute setup. So we're going to get our little table and, find a little spot for everything. We wanted you
And the
guys
plant.
to feel our, how cute is this plant, though, you guys?
We should
Just
name
a
this
moment.
plant.
We
You
should.
Guys, you guys go in the comments,
Please.
and let us know
What we should call this plant.
what we should call this plant. And
Absolutely.
the comment with the most likes,
Wins.
we'll get the name.
Will be the name of the plant. So, but also, guys, as well, if you enjoyed, the podcast, please like, comment, subscribe. As I always say, all the little YouTube stuff, you know the drill. And leave some topics that you want us to discuss. If you don't get a chance to put a question in the question box that's related to the podcast, please don't worry. You can always comment something on an Instagram post, TikTok. You can comment on a YouTube video, DM us. Trust me, We read everything. Even if we don't get a chance to respond, we do go down and read all of the comments, and we read our DMs and everything.
Yep.
So please feel comfortable to reach out, leave a comment, whatever. Send us your topics, send a question. Let us know if you think we looking cute. Whatever it is, we want all of it. And we like it. We love reading comments.
Yes.
I actually get really into reading comments, so trust me, we appreciate
And
it.
for those of you that were asking, we are gonna try to put this on Spotify. I still don't know how to do that yet, but
Me either.
we're gonna figure it out.
Hell yeah.
And
Teamwork
yeah,
makes the dream work.
so if I figured it out, future me figured it out, and this is on Spotify right now. Hello, people that are listening on Spotify.
Hello, Spotify listeners.
So interesting to say that.
Isn't that crazy? I listen to podcasts on Spotify so often. I could not imagine
Yeah.
hearing my own voice like in the car while I'm driving. But
Exactly.
if we get this on Spotify, we'll be listening to it in the car.
Yep.
So I'm very excited for that.
And if I didn't get it on Spotify, yeah, if we didn't get it, hi YouTube. And
Hello,
we'll see you soon, Spotify.
We'll see you eventually. But
All right, guys. Thank you so much for keeping up with Kay and Tay.
thank you.
And yeah, let's do life together.
Absolutely. I appreciate you guys. I'm always going to give that moment of gratitude. So thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for inviting us into your space wherever you are. If you're watching on your phone, your TV, your tablet, thank you. And we love you. And we'll see you on the next one. Bye.